Well, hello there! I'm Auntie Sarah. I'm from CoffeeCraft, and our goal is to inspire and empower you to craft with your own two hands. And today we're gonna make some Christmas ornaments because it's the Christmas season. We've made it through Thanksgiving. But yeah, if you're here live to craft along with me, I'm gonna be making some felt ornaments today, but you can craft whatever you feel like crafting. Or you may be joining similarly to my special guest here, Mr. Bear Bear. If you're just going to snooze along with him, that's totally cool too. I did want to mention that while I'm so happy you're here live, if you are, I'm super excited to share these videos with the whole channel, so you can just have this on in the background if you're just crafting and you need some kind of noise or something just to take your mind off of the monotonous work. This is a great opportunity to just put on something, listen to the jams, craft along, and you can watch it anytime, not just live. We do have some links in the description if you'd like to support us in other ways, become part of our Crafty community. You can head over to our website. We have some craft tutorials available there, but we also have a link to Ko-fi, which is a way that you can donate a cup of coffee to myself and Christine. And you may just see a little fancy reward pop up on screen and in the chat if you do that, but it's up to you. No pressure. Anyway, I do only have 2 hours to get through some of these crafts, so I'm gonna go ahead, put my coffee on my trusty little cat warmer, roll up my sleeves, and I'm gonna get crafting. Thank you for joining me today. So for the first ornament, I'm gonna try to keep it simple. I had to go a little bit off script today, so bear with me as I'm just trying to learn here. One of the ways that we like to inspire you to have the confidence to craft something new for yourself is that we also love to try new things. So today I will be making 3 ornaments of varying difficulties that I've never made before. So you'll get to see if I can do it. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take this really pretty yellow felt, and we're going to try to just cut this into a square. So it's already 9 inches wide. So we're going to go ahead and mark 9 inches on here. I'm just going to use some chalk, I think, just so it'll... Oh, you can't see that at all. All right, that's cool, that's cool, that's cool. Let's use a pen. We'll just mark it in a few places, and that way we can line up the ruler when we're done and cut nice and straight. I always like to mark at least 3 spots because sometimes, the ruler isn't perfectly aligned. At least I've been known to do that. There we go. Oh, the distinguished gentleman is awake. This is very exciting. He's a sleepy boy, but the reason we do this in the afternoons is 4 o'clock is dinner time for him, so he starts to get a little antsy. I don't know about the rest of you when it gets close to dinner time, but he just wants to make sure I didn't forget. Okay. So now we have one big square, and we're going to make, it looks like 1, 2, 3 markings inside. So to do that, to just kind of keep it easy on myself, I'm going to fold this diagonally, kind of pinch it, and then fold it one more time. Let's see if we can do that. I kind of think that it would be better for me to mark it, and that way I can measure it out better. It's just going to take a little longer, but that's okay. I'd love to hear what it is that you guys are crafting. If you're crafting anything, feel free to type it in the chat and I can see it. Auntie Christine is moderating for me today since I can't quite type and craft at the same time, but I can see it, so I can, of course, respond. It looks like Auntie Christine. Oh. Yes, it's time for Christmas. She and I love holidays, but you know, we kind of love conflicting holidays sometimes. Although, if you've seen the movie Nightmare Before Christmas, you can know that they can mesh sometimes. You know, they inspire each other. Oh, sorry. Again, I am making 1, 2, 3, and the fourth would be here. 1, 2, 3. So probably every 2 inches. 1. That would just be 2, so we're going to do 1.5 to 3 to 4.5. I think that makes sense. 1, 2, 3. Yes. 1.5, 3, 4.5. So now we're just gonna connect these lines up. And to do that, just to make sure I'm straight, I'm gonna line up one edge with my square of the ruler. You know, just in case I made a mistake measuring. This one is going to be a really interesting ornament, I think. This one is more of a like geometric kind of shape, so I think it'll be really cool once I cut it out and start to fold it in the directions provided. Now, full disclosure, I found these felt designs on Pinterest and I loved them, so I'm going to try to make them. I did not come up with these designs. However, I will be putting my own little fun spin on it. Because that's the whole point, right? You find inspiration on Pinterest. You don't just copy straight up. Looks like Christine will be working on card addressing. Smart. I finished that up yesterday, I'm so proud to say. I did not get them to the mail yet today. Probably gonna do that Monday. That way I'm up in time for the mail to not have come already. Uh-oh, see, I was a little off in the measurement here. Let's fix that up. Yeah, that's okay. Cool. Cool. So, the next step is to cut out some of these here triangles. And I think I'm going to keep a little strip down the center of this uncut. So, probably about 1 inch wide, I think. So let's line this guy up. That center line. Just kind of mark each of these. We don't need a full line. This will just tell me where to stop cutting. Okay. try to flatten this out nice. Put my scissors in here. Now the other side. Okay. I still win, Christine. It's not about winning or losing. It's the Christmas spirit. But you're right, I do still win. So the next thing we need is some glue. I've got some tacky glue here. Unopened, apparently. So I'm going to go ahead and gently open that. That totally didn't just fly away. And what I'm gonna do here is just, I'm gonna try to have the lines here be kind of on the inside or outside. So we'll see how well this works. Ideally, if I was doing this like as a gift for someone else, I probably would use a washable marker or a heat erasable marker, but I think for the purposes of showing how to do this, I think the black is fine, and I don't mind seeing some marks on my ornaments going on a tree. That's just proof I made it myself. Oh. Let's see. Looks like we have some problems in here. Nothing a knitting needle can't handle, I'm sure. If you're one of my knitting friends, I apologize already, but I will wash this needle. I promise I won't just leave it all gluey. I use my knitting needles in almost every craft I do, whether it's sewing or, you know, just felt crafts, painting, stuff like that. Knitting needles are very useful. Okay. Look, there's a piece that totally didn't fly off. Okay, now we're ready. Put a little dollop. Like my kindergarten teacher said, dot, not a lot. We don't need a ton. We're just gonna press it. And we're gonna count to like 10 seconds or so. Just hold it. Let it think about itself. Maybe get a little sip of motivation here. Today I'm drinking some really kind of chocolatey flavored coffee that Auntie Christine gifted me. It's themed like the Haunted Mansion from Disneyland. So next I believe we are going to fold these ones over and glue that same way. Okay, so we're skipping little strips here. And again, just a dot, not a lot. Pinch it together, just hold it for like 10-20 seconds. Let the glue do its thing. Should be easy. That's this one. This one's the easiest one. If this isn't easy, then we're in store for something. Alrighty. Now let's flip it over. Let's glue. just hold it. I think that this would be a little bit more stiff if you were to make this a smaller square to start with. I've seen this out of paper as well. It looks super cool out of paper, like construction paper. It's like the cheater's way to make some Christmas ornaments. All right, let's get the final piece. It kind of reminds me of like the mind games you have to do when you make like those paper snowflakes. You just gotta trust the process. You don't see what's happening until it's already happened. So let's see. I don't know that I did this right. I might have to try again. Whoa. Well, I think that looks kind of like what I was going for here. It's interesting, right? So essentially what we're gonna do is I'm gonna also glue just the top corner and the bottom corner so that this is kind of prepared, and then I'm going to embroider just the top with a little loop so that I can hang this on the Christmas tree or wherever I'd like to hang it. But yeah, it's a little twisty bit, and by little I mean, you know, not that little. It's okay. I think it looks pretty cool though. Very geometric. So let's go ahead and do that. Just a little tack of glue on both the top and the bottom corners. Ah, don't get it on your fingers. That stuff's tacky. We'll just hold those. I chose to do this out of a bright color. The examples I was given were all out of green, which looks really cool, and I bet if you hang that somewhere else in your house it looks very Christmassy, but my Christmas tree is green, so I thought doing a contrasting color would really bring out the color of the ornament. And that way, you know, it stands out a little. So let's go ahead and put some, I guess, red. That's what I want to do. Some red floss. There we go. That's a good one. Okay. Doesn't need to be perfect. I mean, fair enough, Christine. I have considered other options of colors for Christmas trees in the past, but yes, the main tree is green. I do have one of those really fancy trees that like you can change the colors of the lights right from your phone. So the Christmas lights aren't always Christmas themed, but the tree itself is generally Christmas themed. So all I'm doing here is this is a upholstery needle. It's quite large compared to a normal sewing needle. We don't need a sewing needle for felt. It's pretty easy to pop through, and I want to use the floss with all 6 strands. So I want something with a big enough eye in it that won't be a problem. There we go, maybe. Yes, yes. Very nice, very nice. So, see, easy peasy. Now let's just go ahead and I'm going to pick a spot that's, I don't know, like a 1/4 inch down from the top. And that way I don't risk tearing the felt a little close to the edge. And I'm just kind of pushing nice and consistent, not too strong, not too soft, just to force it through without tearing it. And there we go. I'll go ahead and pull just one out. Okay. And then to finish it off, I'm just gonna tie a little twisty knot at the top. And then a few years ago I got these ornament holders. They're really cute. They're just like a curly Q S. So this will just hang on my tree. Very nice. To just keep it out the way, I think I'll just yeah, put it right here. This is good. There you go. You can hang there, think about your choices in life. It's all part of the plan here. Okay. One down. That only took 20 minutes. We're flying. We're gonna get through all these today. It's gonna be great. High confidence now. Uh-oh, what are you? Oh, okay. Okay, so the next one is similar in the fact that it's geometric, but it is a little bit more Christmas themed because we're gonna try to make a poinsettia. I think it's gonna be really cute. So to do that, we of course need some red. I think I want a slightly darker red compared to this one. So I've got a few different felt. I found a really cool Etsy site that I will comment below later, where they have felt in lots of different collections. This collection is tons of like deep reds, deep greens, some browns, and I think this was called like Prime Christmas, something like that. But we're gonna make it out of this. I think this is poinsettia color for sure. It's like a maroon. And then I was cracking up because this kit that had the yellows, the reds, and the brown, you know, I look at this and I'm like, ooh, fire, that looks cool. But of course they call it, you know, the candy corn kit. So I literally have Halloween and Christmas right here, Christine. You can't get away. All right. So to start, I'm gonna go ahead and draw a star just on here, just a normal, however I would draw a star. I'm gonna go kind of big. How about this big? Bring it back down. Now, if you don't have a lot of confidence in your own sketching abilities, that's totally fine. You can go ahead and go in the cookie cutter section of, like, you know, Target or Walmart or what have you, and they literally sell cookie cutters that are star shaped. You can just trace that. That's super easy, or you can print it out and trace a cutout star, however you want. But I have been drawing stars long enough in my life that I can at least make that. Now, I'm going to first just cut out the general square that it's in, because we're going to use these smaller shears to just trim out the shape. And now I don't want to do literally the straight lines that I've drawn here. I'm going to make it kind of rounded, because a lot of like poinsettias and flowers in general, their petals are a little bit like, I'm a petal, a little rounded, you know? So we're gonna just go ahead in here. Now I love these little shears. These are like Fiskars. I don't even know how to just. They're tiny. What are they? 2 inches. It's perfect for detail work on things like felt or paper, and they're super sharp too. So. If you're gonna be cutting out fiddly stuff, having really good scissors makes the job way better. almost done. Okay. She's not perfect. You know, one petal's a little long. That's okay. I'm not perfect either. I don't expect my poinsettias to be perfect. Now what we're gonna do is flip it over and wow, magic. The marks are gone. Who could have imagined that? Next thing we're gonna do is just trim off this straight edge. There we go, so we can save most of it untouched. Now we're gonna make some petals. So I'm going to kind of use this just as a guide. Let's use the nice... I feel like this one is the medium size of all the options here, so we're gonna make it this size. We're just gonna trace. Keep my life easy. Okay. So now we're going to extend the length of a little bit and then flatten off the edge. So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna fold it because we're gonna wanna get 5 more petals. So this would get me 4 petals, cutting through all that. And then, let's just make, let's see if we can make 6. This is pretty aggressive, but we can try. For this, I'm gonna use my bigger scissors because it's a lot more to go through and I don't want to dull up my good tiny scissors. I'm just really holding at the center, not letting the fabric move around. There we go. Okay. Trim up this and then go through this little loop and just cut it. Wow, we have 6 petals in no time. And fun confetti. It's multi-purpose. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Nice. Okay. So what we are going to do now is for each one of these, I'm just going to tack right at the base, so they're kind of like a, I don't know, a more 3D petal kind of a shape. I don't know if you can see that well, or maybe this way. Where's the camera? There she is. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and tack 5 of these. This one was beautiful, wonderful. Probably going in the scrap pile there. Just a little dot. We don't need a ton. We're just gonna hold it. Hold it and wait. Well, I hope that everybody on stream had a wonderful Thanksgiving. I know I had some family over and that was really nice. We had lasagna. Unfortunately my dishwasher broke, so I wasn't that excited to sign up to host a whole big, you know, cook all the sides, cook the turkey. It can turn into a lot of work. So if you or someone else in your family cooks a ton for Thanksgiving, you should say thank you to the people doing that, and then thank you to the people doing the dishes. We're just working on the second one here. Now this is just to hold it in place because we will also be sewing on a little bead in the center, and I think I'll take the opportunity there to also sew these together in place. So, but these will, tacking it kind of like this will make it a lot easier to work with later. Looks like Bear Bear is still sleepy. That's surprise, surprise. Oh, I just had to wake him up. There he goes, back into dreamland. Okay, just gonna clean off my fingers. Move on to the next one. I also, if we talk about Christmas again, Christine, I planned out the crafts for the Christmas gifts this year. So it's gonna be a lot of crochet and knitting. You may know that those two crafts are something that take me a little bit more time compared to other handicrafts, but I don't know, I started knitting these scarves and like they've just kind of flown together. I'm almost done with my second one right now. So thinking they're gonna be some headbands, some mittens, some hats, some sleeveless gloves. You know, because like I said, knitting and crochet are kind of new to me in general, so I'm not here trying to make fingers for gloves. I'm not here trying to make toes for socks to make those fancy toe socks, you know? Not yet. We're on our last petal. You're right. I think that by the end of this, I will either decide that I am amazing at crochet and knitting, or I will invest in a crochet and knitting tool to just do it for me. One of the two. I've seen those circular, like you just turn the crank and it like crochets into a tube, and then you just kind of like connect the end, and wow, you have a hat now. Every time I see those, I think, what if you want to make a hat of a different size? Like you only make that one. Or what if you don't want to make a hat? I don't know. Some of you may know that I attempted to make a blanket at one point in my life, and it kind of humbled me. I don't know why the first thing I wanted to crochet was a blanket. That's like a huge time commitment. It was seriously silly. That's what it was. So, back onto this project. We are going to align these to be kind of in the empty spaces between the star shape that we cut out initially. And this is where things are gonna go. I think it's gonna be really cute. I'm kind of debating with myself if I want... Let's do the sewing bit first, and then we can glue this part down to the base flower, I think. That's probably a good order of operations here. So, get out a needle, and we will use the white that I have sitting here. Totally not because I already have it available. Okay. And then let's pick out a fun bead to go in the middle. I'm thinking white. Yeah. White. Don't fight me, man. There we go. So, to go with white, we have a few options. There's this kind of off-white that's really pretty, like a true pearl. I think that looks nice with the red. But we also have this that's more of a true white, less of a pearl cut. I'm not sure how different these look on camera. Maybe they look a little different. Let's get them a little closer for you. Maybe even with the red, so you can really see it. Oh. See how one is kind of like off-white and the other one is more true white? I think I'm going to do the true white. really do kind of a stark difference. So, there we go. I love this bead kit. I bought like years ago at this point, and as you can see, I'm not really through it. I've used a few of them, but I don't know, they're just, all the colors are so pretty, and there's that dragon part of my brain that just likes to collect things that are just pretty. And just look at it sometimes. I don't know. Alright, prepare the needle, and then I'm going to split this in half and we'll use 3 strands. I think that'll be good. They didn't look different. Oh man. Are you saying that my webcams don't pick up perfect color differentiation over stream? I believe you. Oh, there we go. There we go. For those of you who may be interested in the technology side of things, you may notice that I had 3 cameras today when I usually only have 2. And I'm very excited because I realized, I did some research more specifically, and I found out that you can use your phone as a camera in your whole setup, and you can stream using your phone's camera. So, excuse you. Anyway. So yeah, essentially I've got my 2 webcams that I usually would have, and I've got my phone, and that's what you're looking at me right now with. It's my beautiful phone. I'm just so excited. I don't know. Getting enough pieces of technology can be kind of hard, and you're always like, you see these beautiful YouTube videos where they're in like 4K, they look so cool, and you can see so much detail. And it's so tempting to just try to get that same setup until you find out the cost of those like fancy mirrorless DSLR cameras. And you realize that to get like a really basic setup, you're gonna spend $1,000. That'll be $1,000. I'm not doing that. So instead, webcams, camera, phone, perfectly good. Hey, at least for now, you know? Here we go. We'll just start with this one, and what I'm going to do is right in the middle. Oop, that's sharp. We're going to pop right through. Nice and gentle. We're going to pull all the way. You know, the nice thing about headphones is I can't even hear him licking, so like he could just live his best life, be happy, think about dinner that's coming up, have big dreams. There we go. Man, there we go. Yeah, I know I was debating if this would officially be the bear camera, but I think that sometimes I might even convince Callie to come up here and spend some time with me. The hard thing about Callie is she wants to be on my lap, and I suppose I could just lean back and then just have the camera be of her sleeping on my lap. That'd be fine. He's a lot easier to craft around because, you know, he's not all up in my space fully. Okay, so now we're gonna go through that first petal just one more time. Just to close the circle up. We don't need it to be super tight or anything, because the next thing we're going to do is grab our bead, thread them through, and then we're gonna go across to the petal here. Ooh, we're not gonna get all tangly. That's what we're not gonna do. If I lied, I can hear him. Boy. Let's just line these up nice. Things are happening, that's for sure. And then I'm not going to do anything super tight on this. This is mostly just so things are attached. But I think I am going to use glue mostly as what keeps things in the final place. So I'm just going to tie off here. Oh, where are you going, bud? Oh, he's going to go find some water. Smart. Stay hydrated, man. What you doing? Okay, just trim that up. Okay, so it's looking a little haphazard currently. That's all right. It's all about the finesse of finishing the whole thing, I think. Like this guy. Alright. So let's just get this generally in place, and then we'll start gluing things. Sir, you still have an hour and 15, okay? Now we're just gonna lift up a little bit and put a dollop of glue right at the base of the cut and push down for 10 seconds. Down, down, down. You can't lay down in your spot? Oh, you're bouncing. Lay down. There's a goal. There's a goal. Okay. Where was I? Here we go. Okay. Put a little dollop. Okay. You know, I bet this would be really cute if you, you know, could attach like a safety pin to the back of this or something. And you can wear it kind of like a little brooch. Thank you, Christine. I know this one I think inspired me a little bit just because, you know, I was looking for some things that are kind of plant-based. I was debating what kind of ornaments I'd like to make for my tree this year, and you know, there's a part of me that was tempted to do something constellation themed, because I think that could be really cool. But I also like the idea of just making a poinsettia over and over and over, and eventually just filling up my tree with different color poinsettias, some like dark maroon, some bright red, some white, you know. And then I could probably even like string them all together and make a garland out of them eventually. Could look pretty cool. Okey-dokey. And then because of how everything kind of set, this bead is kind of where it belongs. Isn't she cute? Pretty 3D too, which I appreciate. Apparently 3D is the name of the game today. So I'm going to, I think, use similar white floss. Totally not because it's already out. And we'll just, on the back here, pick a spot, go in and out, take a quick look. Yeah, we didn't pierce through the front. Okay. Whoop. There we go. We don't need that much. I think that this would be good. This would hang kind of like this. What if I picked another spot though? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Things be tangling. I'm wondering if this will help keep it a little bit more straight. I think so. There. So all I've done is go through a couple different spots on the back, just so that when this is pulled, it pulls both at the bottom and at the top. And it seems to make it want to hang a little bit more straight. The other option is literally we could just go through one of these petals and that would have worked fine. But I have to complicate things because that's who I am. We'll just go ahead and trim this up. And then to make this look just a little bit more cute, because you know it's already very cute, but we can make it adorable with just a little extra. That's me, just a little extra. Let's go ahead and tie a quick knot. Okay. Great. Now we're going to tie a bow. Because of course we are. Whoa. Let's see if we can do it. Fiddly fingers. Engage. Up. Oh no. Oh no. Come on. Through the thing. Something about a bunny around a loop. Pull the thing. Pull the thing. Hey. Who is she? She can tie a little bow. Okie dokie. So cute. Grab one of our little S things. It'll hang out real nice, I think. Whoa. This way, maybe? Whoa, whoa. There we go. This is really, really cute. I think it's identifiable as well as a poinsettia. You know, sometimes you get crafting and your brain sees it, but sometimes other brains don't see it. Today is not the case. Looking nice. Now we have an hour and 10 minutes to do the hardest one. But we have successfully done what? No, done two. Two ornaments. We're on a roll. Alright. So for our most ambitious decision today, we are gonna try to make a deer. We'll start with a doe, and if that goes really well, we can try to make a little a boyfriend deer to go with it. Because you know, love is nice. To do that, we're gonna do some free-handed sketching, which I love to do. We're gonna find out if I can use my noodle to get that 3D image onto felt, and then remember to make it extra big, because when we cut it and we sew it together, it's gonna shrink a little bit, especially after we fill it. So let's start with this pretty brown. It's got a little bit of red in it. I think it'd be very nice. Brown. We'll get some white for the belly and the ears. Okay. Oh, okay, well, if we make antlers, it'll probably be out of that brown. Or little hoofs. You're impressed right now, Christine. We gotta wait and see what the noodle can actually come up with before I will believe that you're impressed. I'm always ambitious, whether or not it it comes to fruition. That's sometimes a little different. So to start, we're gonna need a left and a right. So we're gonna sketch this on a side that we can cut out, and it will cut out the... We can draw this out, and then it will cut out twice, so we'll have a left and a right. I'm thinking how we're gonna do this is we're essentially going to draw the profile of a deer, and then have that cut out the left and right, and then we'll cut out on the white kind of like the underbelly, because, you know, in Michigan we've got something called the white-tailed deer. And I think that's what I'm gonna try to go for. So, let's get started. It's gonna be great. I'm totally not nervous. Let's start with a head, a little there. I think it's gonna... This is going to be, you know, deer inspired. It's not gonna look perfectly like a deer, but you know, pretty close. Okay, actually I think I want to make the legs coming out just a little bit, not just straight down. Okay, give it a little rump here. Yeah. It's funny how much deer kind of just look like horses to me. I suppose they're... I don't know the right term. It's not bovine. They're similar in general structure, you know. It's just like the tails are different and the ears are a little different. We'll see. We'll see if this is identifiable as a deer when I'm done, or if this is gonna just be a brown horse, which is also acceptable. Okay, I think that'll be good. The head's gonna be a little big, but that'll just look cartoonish. It'll be cute. It'll be nice. I think, actually, to make it look a little bit more deer-like, I'm gonna make the head go up a little bit straighter. Because sometimes you know how they like perk up and they look around? You know, deer don't really, or horses don't really do that same thing, so that's one way I'm gonna make this look less horse-like. Maybe shorten up the head, not make it so long. There we go. I think that's good. Can you see that all right? I'll darken up some of this. The legs aren't quite so beefy as horses either. They're skinny little things. So, similar to last time, I'm just going to cut kind of the general square. And then we'll go back in with the smaller shears to get the detail. Just cutting this guy. Wait. Now, I'm sure that there are some really cool Etsy sites or something that you could probably print out, you know, the shape of a horse or a deer, whichever animal you would prefer to make. And that could really help you make sure that you're getting the right shape. But I kind of find it fun to see what I'm capable of coming up myself. And in the past, I actually have technically made something similar to this before. I made a little toy horse for a friend's kid for Christmas, and that was really fun. Started out pretty similar to this. I think for that one I ended up printing out the silhouette of a horse to trace. That's deer-like, I think. That's pretty good. Now, is that deer-like? It's close enough, I think. So essentially, I think what I'm going to do is I will be sewing these seams here straight across, and then probably across the rump a little bit there. But then underneath, I'm going to add the white. I'm just trying to think about how I want to do that. Yes. Okay. Right now I'm just looking at a reference image of a toy deer, just to see, like, out of plastic, kind of how are they making it. Just give me a hint. What parts go where, you know? Okay. So I think we will start by doing the legs. That seems most reasonable. I'm just going to trace. We don't need both of you here. Put this in the pile. I said put this in the pile. There we go. Let's go ahead and Again, I have folded this over just so when I go to cut, I'll have 2 pieces. I'm not sure that I need 2 pieces just yet, but I'm gonna give it a shot. I might, you know. I'd rather cut it all out now than find out I didn't need it necessarily. I'm gonna go all the way up, I think to that point there. I think that's going to be the inside of the legs. And then just to save on some space here, I'm thinking that I'll also do the front leg kind of right next to it. We'll just cut that up like that. And then for the neck, what do I want to do? Alright, so these will be kind of the insides of the legs, but we're going to want something that connects essentially from right at the neck entrance, right at the head to neck joint, all the way back to here. Something with that curve. I'm wondering how I want to do that, because it's not going to curve like this. It will need to be a straight piece that's essentially that long. So maybe we'll just mark the length that we want. So we've got this bit to here. And rotate. Yes. Yes. That's what I want. Now I think this is kind of how we decide how fat we want to make this deer. Because this will be essentially, these 2 pieces will be pinned together near the top, and then this white piece that I've just measured out will be how wide the belly will kind of stiffen out to here. So I'm kind of think that far, which is, guess what? It's an inch. Look at that freedom unit. Just to make sure we have a little extra in case something goes hairy, we're gonna go 1.25 inches. Essentially, we're just gonna mark 1.25 inches across this whole line. I wasn't very perfect measuring this out, surprise, surprise. So we're just gonna do the best we can. This is art, okay? It's not perfection. I mean, I might name the deer perfection, but... Okay. Now, I think at these edges, we're probably gonna want it to kind of pinch together, because while it's going to be the full inch here, it's got to start, you know, coming in at a point at the neck. So I'm thinking we do not need both of you. Okay. To here. This is where I want to make sure it's widest, and this will be skinniest. So we'll just do a little curve to meet about the middle. Okay. And then we'll do the same thing here. This will be skinniest. Okay. Look at this geometry, mathematics. It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. Excited. Let's get the main body figured out, and then we can figure out the details like the ears and the tail, things like that, you know. We will need 2 sets of the legs, but probably only one of those. So let's go ahead and cut out this guy. And then I am picking this up, so I'm not cutting through both. Just boop. I want you to comment off right now if you followed along with the logic that I just jumped through. All those hoops that I just put my brain through just now. Or if I've lost you. We'll see. You got a little insight to the inner workings of how I think. Oh, okay, okay. That's fair enough. I do think if this is your first time making a figurine out of felt, it's probably smart to go ahead and follow a pattern from somebody else. I have done this once before. It's just been a while, so I'm a little rusty, but we're gonna figure this out and it's gonna be great. So the first thing I'm going to do... Actually, I kind of think I want to add some width on the top of the head here. Should we do it? I think we should do it. He's not a pointy head deer. Let's put these safely over here. We'll do this one more time. Let's just do it out of this section. So again, I'm going to start by marking the beginning of where I want this piece to be, just right at his nose, and then I'm just going to draw a line and rotate the piece as I go to give me an idea of how much of this felt we're going to need to cover this. And I think we're just gonna literally there we go. The problem with fabric is it's like 4D chess all the time. No matter what kind of sewing you're doing. Alright, I think that'll be probably plenty good. And I think we're going to do the same width as the belly. So I'm just marking out 1 1/4, just so we have a little extra to work with for seam allowance. Okay. Now these are the ends. But again, we're going to want this to pinch at the edges, be thickest at the ears, so I'm thinking it'll be skinniest here, and then by the time we get to the eyes, I'd like it to be thick. Okay, and then down here, again, it's going to be skinny until maybe here. I think that'll be good. So let's just mark similar, similar, and then just draw a little arc in here. Now we just need to remember which edge of this is the front versus the rear. I think that this side is a little easier for me to see because, you know, this side is much steeper of an arc compared to this one is a longer arc. This is the front, like the belly. We'll just put a little F here for front and a B here for back. That's near where the tail is. And this is very similar. We're going to put the nose here, so this is the front. So just an F. And then this is where the neck is, so we're going to put a B for back. See, now if we did nose and neck, then it's just N and N, and then where would we, I mean, we'd just be super confused. So we're going to try to save myself some of that. Just go ahead and chop. Very nice. Okay. And cut out these guys. Oh, look, he figured out how to fall back asleep. I'm so proud of him. They always say, you know, like pet, like owner. Just see, sometimes I'm sleepy all the time. Alright, so these are the legs. These are legs, head, belly, and sides. So, we have all the pieces cut out. What we need to do next is get some embroidery floss out. We're gonna start using the blanket stitch to hold it all together. So I'm gonna fold this a little bit nicer. This out the way. Surprise, surprise, when Sarah gets a chance to make a craft and everything goes not to plan, the backup plan is always embroidery, okay? I can hand sew. I will always be able to hand sew. Let's pick a nice dark brown. I think that'll be pretty. Oh, there we go. Stretch your backs. Take a little moment here. Okay. Now, since this is going to be kind of a more rustic design, I'm going to use the full 6 strands of this floss. This is a little bit longer than I usually do. Usually I only work with floss that's only like the length of my forearm long. This is a little bit longer. Let's see if I double it up. When I double it up, it's my forearm, so it's 2 of my forearms. We're gonna see if the risk pays off today. I think I'll be alright. But if you're new to embroidery, that's my #1 tip for newbies is you gotta work with smaller lengths of floss because it tends to gum up and just that's not a good time. But I think with this type of project, I'm gonna wanna go through the floss pretty quickly. So I'm gonna see if I can get away with it. Oh, and we have one right here that would work great. So this is not quite the full upholstery needle that I used before. This is a little bit smaller. Ooh, it's hard to see. The eye is quite large, and it's not crazy sharp, but it is sharper than the last one. We'll see if we can make this work. Oop, maybe. Throw it on the ground, jeez. There we go. Nice. See, I love it when you work with the full thickness floss, getting a needle that is the correct what am I doing? Getting a needle that is the correct size. boy. That'll make a difference, you know? So to start, I'm gonna tell you a secret. You generally want to start somewhere that isn't going to be super visible. Unfortunately, I think most of this will be pretty visible, so I'm gonna go ahead and start kind of where the tail will go, I think. That way, if it is a little messy, I probably can hide it in the tail work. So what we're gonna do is literally just line up everything, maybe a 1/8 of an inch in. We're just trying to force our way through the 2 pieces of felt, bring it together. Okay. And from the same side, so I've embroidered through. I'm gonna come back to the side that I worked on and just go through, probably an 1/8 of an inch over from where I started. Just wedge my needle through, and this time when I pull, I'm going to be mindful of where my needle is versus the thread before, because what we want is to make exactly what you see here, where I'm coming out through the loop of my previous stitch. That's what we call the blanket stitch. So now the next one will pull it over. So we're gonna do the same spot. Just another 1/8 of an inch over. Be mindful of where your floss is and try to come up. I don't know if it's easier to see maybe if I do it on the white here. You can see that I'm looped right through here. We're just gonna pull that nice and closed. And just continue this along this seam. Now if this gets uncomfortable, you can go ahead and grab a thimble. And that will help as you go through to push the needle through. This can be quite stiff, so I can show you how I wear my thimble when I do this. There are a few different traditional ways to wear it. I like to use it on my forefinger. I've seen people use it on their middle fingers, on their thumbs. I tend to do most of my pushing with my forefinger, which is why I choose to do it this way. Oop. There we go. Again, I just line up with one of these little spots here. Makes it a lot easier to push through. And it doesn't hurt, so. I was fine on this piece of felt, but the second piece I was a little off. So you just pull it out and you try again. There we go. Oh, well, it sounds like we got a hot dog over here. So I'm just verifying that the back piece, the back side of this looks pretty good. We're gonna not decapitate the deer. Yes, there we go. Oi. I'm just gonna pull a little bit further on it. Okay. And now this is the final stitch before we're gonna start to add that headpiece in, I think. A little bit. Okay. Great. Now we're going to line up the headpiece. I'm just measuring one more time here to make sure that it is a good size for what I'm looking to do. Oh yeah, it's perfect. Love it. All right. So I am going to, instead of continue to sew through both of these two pieces, I am now going to sew through these two instead. And then we're gonna get up to the ear, work our way down, and flip it over and do the same thing with the other piece. Excuse you. Things are getting fun! At least for me, I don't know. Try not to get all three pieces. Do your best to get just the two that you're looking to get. But also don't, you know, stab yourself, stuff like that. Safety. We're gonna do the same blanket stitch, so gotta make sure you're threaded through the previous. Might have been a little aggressive of a step there. Just for now. Okay, we're gonna put that back on. Things be testing me. See, it's a little too far. Okay. Again, be mindful of where your thread is as you go, just because it'd be really easy to like hook this around a different piece than you want to. We don't want to deal with that. So it's not too bad to poke this through just one piece, so I'm gonna try that technique now. There we go. So again, just through this one. Okay, and then we can line this up where we want. This guy. Oh, how did I do that? Oh, see, I wasn't mindful. I swear. There we go. We got all twisty like. Okay, so now it's gonna get fun here because we're gonna bend this piece. Because he's gonna now start going this direction. Final piece here. Wait, get back up where you belong. Up here. There we go. All right. Now we're gonna flip the whole thing over, and we're gonna try to do the same thing here on this side. So we've already finished up him. He looks good. He looks deer-shaped with some stitches. Now we're gonna do the same thing over here. I've seen other ones of these where you essentially sew the felt just like you would sew any other material, and then you flip the whole thing inside out, which looks really cool. I, in general, am not quite that good at working with felt. Or these little bitty fiddly things, you know. I don't know. They're challenging for me, to say the most positively. Wait, no knots. Now he's gonna look a little wrinkly right now, and that's because, you know, I'm sewing it together. But once we fill it with some polyfill, it looks really cute. I love this kind of very rustic toy kind of design. I like to think like I'm one of the little elves in Santa's shop, you know, making a toy for some lucky kiddo. And honestly, it can be a little annoying to come up with the design yourself or pay money to have someone else give you the design. But it doesn't take nearly as long as some other crafts that I do. You know, like crochet or knitting. In like an hour or maybe two, you can have a little stuffed animal to either hang on your tree or give to a child of appropriate age where they won't swallow it. Or, oh my goodness, you know, these would be so cute to hang as like a little mobile. If you had like a friend who's having a baby, you could make a couple different little designs, hand sew them all together. This cute blanket stitch. Oh, that'd be adorable. All right, now what I'm going to do with this final bit here, I'm going to just sew right through where we already had a stitch. Just to kind of finish off the look here. And now I'm going to tie off because we have finished the first step. Oh, ugh. I got all the way here before it fell off. Silly, silly. Alright, we have the beginnings of a deer. I think once he's filled up. Oh my goodness, it's already stinking cute. Love it. Okay. Kind of debating if the legs would be easiest to do now. Yeah, probably. Let's do the legs first. Make a decision. Go. Christine, do you think the dog panting is too audible? I don't know how loud he is to the rest of you. Perfect. So with this one, I'm going to start on the white side because this will kind of be hidden by the future stitching. So we're just going to pull all the way through and do the same blanket stitch that we were doing before. You're not wrong. Bear isn't doing anything incorrect. He's just being his best self, which is a tired, panting dog. Oop, here we go. kind of tempted to fill these legs with some polyfill before I attach the bottom. So I think they will be harder to fill up once I have the whole thing assembled. So once I get these legs attached, we'll fill one up. I'll show you how I do that. Again, you're probably going to want to use a knitting needle. They're super handy in every craft. Knitting. Where you going, bud? Trying to sneak away? Get off stream? Oh. Do I need to ask for the help of a Timbo slice? Can't call him. My phone is here. Yes, he's just coming for his close-up. Ooh. We just got 20 more minutes here, bud. Where you at? Oh. There he is. Whoa. Go get a drink of water. Or lay down. It's up to you. Oh. He doesn't want to lay on his bed. It's a little warm for him right now, which is fair. These lights are kind of bright. Boy. Go. Ooh. Ah! There we go. Alright, now we're rounding the corner. Let's let this unspool. Wait. It's like sometimes I find the fibers perfectly and it just pops through, and other times not so much. Okay. We're making it, making it. Get it? We're making it because am I making it? Oh. This is the part where the good jokes start to come out. Excuse me. I have a sneeze coming on. Starting to get a little greedy here. My floss will only last so long, and I want to get to the end of it, but eventually I have to tie off. So I have to do this judgment of, do I tie off now to be sure that I can, or do I keep going just so I don't have to get another piece of floss in here to finish the job. Forever the game of embroidery. I think this one. I'm starting to get a little economic in the way of how I'm threading this as well, so that I don't have to go back one more time. We can get one more. We can get one more. We can do it. Do I have any non-gift related holiday crafts that I'd like to do this year? Well, I'm so excited. Usually I like to do some Christmas lights outside, which every year I've done something a little bit different. Last year so the first year we were in this house, we measured the whole house and we did these beautiful blue lights on every edge. So like, I swear we were the blue beacon in the neighborhood. That was really fun. Until the next year when we went to put them back up, and that didn't go so well. So then after that, last year I just tried to use Christmas lights to light up the big tree in our front yard, which was beautiful, really fun. But we have a little bit of electrical problems sometimes, and that was not very sustainable in not blowing fuses. So this year I'm taking a little break from lights, mostly because I have 14 different gifts that I'm trying to make. Instead, I found on Amazon yesterday they had a sale, of course, because it was Black Friday, but they had the white chalk markers in lots of different sizes that you'd see at like a Coney Island, where they've decorated the windows with this beautiful like snowy landscape. So I'm going to do our front window in like a snow theme and maybe have some like drawn on ornaments just in the doorway, or sorry, the window of it. So I think that'll be really fun. I've always really thought those drawings on windows can be so beautiful, and I never really knew how they did it until I just decided to Google it, and you can just use a chalk Sharpie marker. So hopefully it'll be cool. But let's grab some polyfill before this stream ends, and I'll show you how to stuff this. So obviously the head, it's not too hard to stuff right now, it's rather open, but what we're gonna do after I've got the legs all together is sew on this guy, and it will be much harder to stuff things. So I will probably start, once I have the legs all done, I'll start sewing on this end, and when I get around here I will stuff the body and the head and then finish sewing after I've stuffed it. But I will do the legs first, because there's no way I would be able to stuff the legs once I have the body enclosed. So to do that, we take just a little bit of stuffing, we kind of ball it up. This stuff can get pretty small. And you just start it with your fingers. It doesn't need to go in very far, just to get started. And then you're gonna take any kind of stick you got, whether it's a pencil, a knitting needle. They make tools that are designed to do this. Personally, I like knitting needles because they have a second use. But I also have some rods that I use for turning things. Those can be useful, or chopsticks would work really well for this. Let's see. This is just a shish kebab stick. We're just lining it up and we're just poking, trying to get it down into the body here of the leg. What you doing there, bud? We have 10 minutes and then it's dinner time. There we go. I like to alternate between the pokey end and the flatter end. I find that it's easiest to get started with the pokey end, but the flatter end is in general going to poke out of your work a little less, so. Wait, you can fit. There we go. Thick boy leg. So now I'm going to line up the little toe, and I'm going to poke all the way down with the pokey end. Hopefully that'll bring some of the fluff with it. Kind of like filling a pillow. He's starting to look pretty thick, huh? Thickeroni. There we go. So this is making the seams stretch out a little bit. What I like to do now is just take my thumbnail and drag the blanket stitch thread. Just try to bring it over the seam. That'll make it a little bit better. So we still have this flappy bit, which is totally fine. He's going to be a hanging ornament, so, or she. I haven't decided yet if we're putting antlers on her. Okay. Yeah, the nice thing about fabric is, yeah, I cut this at an angle. So like it wants to be in the shape that I cut it, but it is not so stiff that it won't just go as I want. So like I've straightened it out with this dowel and it's fine. It'll go back into the shape once I'm done moving the stuffing around. This reminds me a lot of needle felting. I don't know if you've done a lot of that before, but you start out with this big fluffy bit and then it squishes down into a pretty small, dense shape. So yeah, sometimes to get down into the edges, especially where you see my stitches are pretty close together, it can be pretty fiddly to try to get the stuffing to follow the rod or whatever it is that you're using. There we go. Now, when I made the toy for my friend's kid, what I did was I had some wire, and when I finished stuffing, I ran wire down each leg, and that way like they could manipulate the legs to stand in different positions, or you know, make it like a toy. Ooh. Careful where you're stabbing there. Alright, I think that's pretty good. So from the brown side, he's pretty round now. Very cute. Stuffed. On this side, he's also nice and thick, which I love. So I will likely finish this one off stream because I don't see how I'm going to finish the other 3 legs and then the body and then the ears and the tail and the eyes in 5 minutes. That might be ambitious for me, but I will finish this and I will be posting these updates on our socials. So if you'd like to keep up with that stuff, you can of course follow us here on YouTube, and I'm sure you will see a short pretty soon with the finished product here, and that of course is always wonderful. But you can also follow us on Instagram and on Facebook or on Ko-fi, and stay in the loop with the things going on behind the scenes, or you know what Christine is up to too behind the scenes. We might have a couple of those posts. But yeah, I really do appreciate everybody who joined today and everyone who will be watching this in the future. Your commitment here on YouTube to watch our content, like our videos and subscribe to our channel is just such good support, and it reminds us that, you know, you like that we are crafty people, and maybe we're excited to just work together on making, you know, a more positive and creative space. So yeah, I appreciate everybody who joined today. I am excited for Christmas, and our next stream will be in December, so that will be fun. Looking forward to something there, probably some more planning. But yeah, I hope you can join us next time, and appreciate you being here today. So I'm gonna sign off for now, and I hope you have a wonderful crafty day. All right, time to get Bear some dinner. Yeah.